Okay, good evening all of you. Great, so awesome. Today we are going to start with something I told you. Yesterday we have completed with Hibernate, right? And I told you the two most important advantages of Hibernate. Number one, it can make any object persistent, means permanent, to store inside the database permanently. Number two, taking care of writing these queries is none of your business because everything Hibernate will take care. And Hibernate is famously known with one name. And what is that name, sir, if you ask me? ORM, Object Relational Mapping. I hope you know all of this. I'm telling you again, if you know frameworks, it is like a feather in your cap. So make sure you understand these frameworks properly. And again, a lot of hands-on is required for Hibernate and especially frameworks and your JEE. With this, let us go for our brand new concept. And if you ask me what is the name of the concept, the name of the concept is Spring. And this Spring, whatever I'm telling, it is a framework. First of all, we should understand it's a framework. What do you mean by framework? Already ready-made code is already there. The thing is you have to use it and tell how beautiful it is. It's a framework. First and foremost question, I will tell you why the name Spring. But first, why we have Spring framework in Java? Why? Why we have Hibernate in Java? Because we had some disadvantages in GDBC. So to overcome that, we have this beautiful Hibernate. And that is what we have studied previously. In the same way, Spring framework is there in Java. And Java developers love this Spring framework because it overcomes lot of disadvantage of something. If you ask me, what are the disadvantages, sir? You will see lot of disadvantages in JEE. And especially your servlets. Just to overcome this JEE, we have this concept. And which concept, sir? It's a Spring framework. Now you'll ask me, what are the disadvantages of JEE, sir? If you ask me, please watch it. See, if you take this JEE application, actually it is heavy weighted. Heavy weighted means taking this JEE project, look how much heavy weight. It's not like that. And what do you mean by heavy weight? What's this? If you look at your JEE application, how it looks like, if I take your food delivery application itself. So this is how it looks. How it looks, sir. You have to create lot of servlets here. Lot of servlets. If you have created your food delivery application, lot of servlets you have created. Not only that, you have to maintain your database as well. And to maintain this database, you have to write your DAO design pattern here. Am I correct? DAO. And to maintain all of these servlets, you have created one thing here. And what is this, sir? This is controller. How I'm drawing this. We have DAO design pattern and we have 100% many servlets. This is the first servlet. This is the second servlet. Like this many servlet you have created, and that is what I am showing you here. And these servlets, you maintained them. And where I have maintained, sir, if you ask me, you have maintained in something known as controller like this. Not only that, you have created some JSP files as well. One JSP file you have created here. One JSP file you have created here. So many JSP files you have created. And to maintain all of these people, you have created something as well. And what is that, sir? If you ask me, it was Vue like this. Not only that, according to DAO need the model classes. Means you have created one more thing, and we called it as what? Model. And in model classes, what you have created is Pojo classes. Am I correct? Means, if you take any web application, to maintain the code, it's a big circus. First of all, many servlets, many JSPs, many model classes, many DO implementations, so many things are there. Means it makes your application so heavy that sometimes it becomes unable to maintain your code. This is a heavy weight. Why? Maintenance becomes very much big problematic because so many people are there here. And to overcome this problem, we have a brand new framework in Java. And if you ask me what framework is that, it is Spring Framework. But to start with, Spring Framework, only reason to come in this world is to overcome this heavyweight JW application. But after that, every year goes on, they did a lot of improvements in the Spring in such a way that currently he's a rock star, he's a monster, he is a great superstar in the current IT industry now. But Spring came to the world just to overcome the problem of the JW application. What is that? This is heavyweight. To make it light, we had a Spring Framework. Very good. Now you got to know why this Spring Framework got to know. To make any application, any web application, lightweight. What do you mean by lightweight? Maintenance become very easier. There should be less files. Everything should be less. Understanding? Great. Now you watch this. Who created this Spring Framework then? There was one great guy. He is the person who actually thought that there is lot of disadvantages are there in JW application. And what is his name? Rod Johnson. His name is Rod. So this Rod Johnson actually written a book in 2002 that what are the disadvantages of JW. He wrote a book. But in that book, he told that we have to overcome. And to overcome, I will do it. And I will do it in the next year. He told in the book what he has written in 2002 and is released in 2002. He released one book. And that book will tell what are the disadvantages of JW. Finally, the year came and that year is 2003. And in 2003, he released a framework. And that framework, he gave one name. And what is that name? Spring. And the reason for Spring is to overcome all the disadvantages of your JEE application. Just to overcome that, he brought the Spring Framework. But now the question is, why the name Spring? Why? If you look at the seasons, we Indians have the three crucial seasons. Number one, rainy. Number two, summer. Number three, winter. If you look at summer, so hot. If you look at rainy, full of water. If you look at winter, such a cold. But there is one season, usually which is famous in Europe and North American, South American countries. Spring season is there. What is the meaning of spring season? I told you that this is so pleasant season, you know, that the trees will started to blossom. Means the leaves started to blossom, correct? You can see there will be greenish somewhere. It was a summer, everywhere there is just mud, will feel like where is greenery. But when spring enters, you know, slowly these leaves become greener and greener and the earth will start to feel more and more greener. Correct? And this more greener means what? It's the symbol of growth. Is the symbol of new energy. Is the symbol of new renovation. Correct? And to tell this, he gave one name, Spring. Means in this season, there is a growth. There is an energy. There is an excitement. He wanted to tell that whatever the framework he is creating, in this framework there is a new growth. There is a lot of energy. There is a lot of excitement. He wanted to tell it to the world. And he told with the help of one name. What name? Spring there. And that is why, if you look at the logo of Spring also, it is like a green color leaf. Why? That is when in the spring season, the leaves started to blossom. That is why. Sensing this much? Great. Now, you got to know who created Spring Framework. Who created? Rod Johnson. Which year? 2003. Just to overcome disadvantages of JEE and why the name Spring also. You got to know. Understanding? Great. See, all of this what I'm telling, history is very important. When you understand the history, you will get interest in the subject. Oh, why Spring? And I am 100% sure that the people who called the Java full stack developers having some 2 to 3 years of experience, some 90% of the people will not be knowing why the name Spring. Just go and ask them why the name Spring. But as a Java developers, you should be knowing how or what or how the Spring took the birth, how it took, why the name, everything you should be knowing. In the same way, Java, why the name Java? Why the cup, a saucer and a steam coming out? Why? There is a reason for that also. I hope you know that. Good. Awesome. So, in the same way, we have a Spring also. Let me proceed further. You know why the name Java, cup, saucer, everything? Yes or no? You know. Okay, great. So let me proceed further. And now if you ask me, okay sir, Spring framework. You told why it is Spring everything. Next what sir? Watch it. See, I told you, Rod Johnson has created this just to overcome JEE problems there. But how the days goes on, he went on adding features into Spring in such a way that he become a monster in a very less number of years. Okay, sir. Why it has become so famous now and why people use this. But before I tell you that, first we should understand Spring belongs to which company? It's a product. It's a framework. It belongs to one company. Tell me your Java belongs to which company? Oracle. Your JSE belongs to Oracle. And we call it as simply as Java. That's it. Tell me your JEE belongs to which company? Which company? Eclipse Foundation. I told you starting off your JEE classes. Your Spring belongs to one company. Do you know which company is that? Do you know? No. That is why we are sitting here, sir. Okay. What's this? Actually speaking, this Rod Johnson was a developer in a company known as Interface 21. What is the name of the company? Interface 21, and there is nothing related with the interfaces of Java. Interface 21, that was the name of the company. So during your Interface 21 in this company, he released a Spring framework. After some time, the company name got changed to Spring Source, like this. And this Spring Source company was acquired by a company known as VMware. I hope you have heard about this company, VMware. You haven't heard about this? How many have heard about VMware company? Oh, shocking. How many of you know Infosys? Raise your hands. TCS. Mindtree. Everyone know? Wipro. Everyone know. How many of you know Intuit company? Intuit. Raise your hands. Atlassian. Some of you. Applied Materials. Some of you. Western Digital. Some of you. VMware. Some of you. You know the companies who gives you 3 only they will give. 3.5, 4 lakh per annum. But you don't know the companies which will give you 25 lakh per annum, 20 lakh per annum, 15 lakh per annum. Your Intuit company will give you 20 lakh per annum as a fresher, and you don't know the name of the company. Your Atlassian gives 25 lakh per annum as a fresher. Your Western Digital gives you 15 lakh per annum as a fresher. Your VMware gives you 20 lakh per annum as a fresher. That is the company. And if you go to VMware company, you will feel like you are in a heaven. That is how the VMware company is. But it's such an irony, you don't know the company, but anyhow, VMware. And now what is this VMware? So this VMware actually took this company. What is the name of the company? Spring Source. Interface 21 is the name of the company. Rod Johnson was working there. He released the Spring when he was in Interface 21. The name of the company got changed to Spring Source. What this VMware did is he acquired this company. So VMware, under that there is a child company which is Spring Source. And after that, VMware sold the Spring Source, that company, Spring Source. He sold it. Who sold? VMware to one company. And which company is that, sir, if you ask me? Pivotal Technologies. How many of you know this company, Pivotal? You be there inside the box, you know, Infosys, TCS, Wipro, good. So, Pivotal Technologies, one of the giant companies of this world. Pivotal Technologies took the Spring resource from the VMware. But after some time, what happens is, your Dell Technologies. Which company? Your Dell Technologies took what, sir? Took this Spring source to him. Means Spring source came from where to where? From Pivotal Technologies to Dell Technologies. And actually speaking, your Dell Technologies also took VMware. Means VMware comes under one company known as what? Dell Technologies. And now the Spring source is under Dell Technologies. Exactly, if I have to tell, now also it is there in VMware only. Means such an irony. Look here, VMware sold the Spring source to Pivotal, but he got to know the beauty of this Spring, and what he did is again he acquired. And how he acquired? By that time VMware was under one parent company known as Dell Technologies. There is no confusion here. Is there a confusion? No. So currently, if you ask me, your Spring framework belongs to which company? It belongs to, don't tell it as Spring source. It belongs to one company, and that company is known as what? VMware. Actually, VMware is a child company now. Who is the parent company? Dell Technologies. I can tell Spring belongs to Dell Technologies there. Understanding? Great. So now you got to know it belongs to which company at this point of time. Let me proceed further. So now you will be asking me that why this Spring is so famous, because everyone will tell Spring, Spring and Spring. I've been telling you that Rod Johnson, his only goal was to overcome the disadvantage. But how the days goes on, your Spring become a big monster. And you want to see the monster? You want to see? Watch it then. So let me go somewhere where you will take us, sir. For that, let me go to my Chrome. Where is my Chrome? This is the Chrome. I will tell spring.io. What is your tell? Spring.io. You hit enter like this. When you do that, so this is how the Spring looks like. So now if you look here in the Spring, you can see here something by VMware. Understanding? Great. So now if you look here, why Spring, learn, projects, there are so many things are there. I want to show you that how big the Spring has become now, and you can see the logo also. There is a leaf. Understanding? Great. So I want to see that how big the Spring is. For that you should go to the projects and let us see what we have inside this. If I click on this, you can see there's so many things are there. But there is one option known as View All Projects, so that I have to show you everything. View All Projects like this. You can see something here. Somewhere you have heard about him. Good. Accept the cookies. Thank you. Now, I will come here. And if I scroll down, first it was just Spring. Now you can notice. You have a Spring Boot, Spring Data, Spring Cloud Data Flow, Spring Security. Come down. You have Spring Authorization Server, Spring for GraphQL. In the same way, Spring Session, Spring Integration, Spring Headers, Spring Monolith, Spring REST Docs, Spring AI. You go on scrolling like this. This is what you will get. It started with just Spring, and this is currently the huge monster now. And if you're expecting Spring framework means whomsoever Spring is there here, all of that I will teach. No. Sir, teach, sir. We have taken the course, now teach. For me, no problem. I'll teach you. You give me any subject, I can teach you, no problem. But thing is, you be with me for 5 years. 100% I can teach you. Which you will only not agree. You will be like, sir, company I need, sir, that's it. Your focus should be how to enter inside a company. When you enter, all of this by your own, you will learn. But out of all of these, there are certain things I will teach you, there are certain things I will not teach you, because as a fresher, it is not required at all. Great, so this is how big your Spring is. It is used to boot your Spring applications. Spring framework is to use for dependencies injection. We can also call it a constructor dependency injection. There are so many things are there. Spring is used in cloud also. Spring is there to give security for your great application. And not only that, for your AI also, Spring can be used nowadays. And you'll get shocked that for AI, Java is also used. You got shocked? You can use Java to create an AI. But no one will prefer AI to build using Java. Why is that? You know? Why? Very simple. Because from long time, people started to build these AI models, AI applications using Python itself. Means there are so many Python developers out there who are creating this AI using Python. Now you are like a big fan of Java. Python, shut up. I will use Java to create my AI models now. You will use Java and you will be creating. It was going smoothly. At one point of the time, you'll get stuck. Even though how much intelligence you have, there's some or the other point, there will be such problems. It becomes very difficult for you to solve that individually. You need a group of people. You need a community to take the help. And if you ask me, sir, community means I need friends. I need people who will be working on AI using Java. How many are there? It is less than 0.1% are there who are developing AI applications using Java. But 99.9% of them are using Python to create AI. Means the community of Python developers are huge. And when you're creating AI using Python, and if you get stuck there, 100% you can reach out to these people and solve it. Yes or no? And that is why Java, you can use it, but it's not preferred. You should go for Python. Okay, anyhow, so one point I told, just to explain you, using Java you can build your AI models as well. But anyhow, so this is the beauty of Spring. And now let me go back. Okay, sir. What you will do now? I just wanted to tell you how Spring is a big giant now. So now let me list down what are the advantages of Spring. What I can do with my web application using Spring. What are things I can do? Number one, using Spring, you can create lightweight application. Lightweight. Lightweight means what? So many files, maintaining all of them is none of your business. Everything Spring will only take care of it. Lightweight. Not only that, your Spring is facilitating modular. What is this? In next coming days you will understand. Your Spring will facilitate data access. Meaning what? Your Spring will support JDBC. It will support, means using Spring you can integrate JDBC also. Not only that, it facilitates ORM, object relational mapping. Object relational mapping means what? It is Hibernate also it facilitates. Not only that, JPA, there are so many things which it will facilitate. So data access becomes very easy when you go for Spring there. Awesome. So not only that, you can integrate with this also. What is that, sir? I will tell. Flexible with configuration. What do you mean by this? Let me tell you. See, my friends, if you look at my JW application, how you have mapped from one servlet to another servlet, how you mapped? There are two ways. How is that? Number one, using XML. There's something on servlet mapping, servlet class, servlet. You remember? Long way back we have used it. That is one. What is the next one? Annotation. Means your JW supports annotation as well as XML. In the same way, even your Spring is also flexible with lot of configurations. What is that, sir, if you ask me? Number one, XML configuration. Not only that, you can use annotation. Not only that, you can use their Java also, or simply we can tell Java class configuration. What is this? Everything we will see. Awesome. Not only this, your Spring is so famous that you can integrate with the giant technologies. You can integrate with giant technologies. If you ask me how we can integrate, number one, you can integrate with ReactJS easily. Smooth you can integrate. Not only that, you can integrate with AngularJS like this. Like this, many giant technologies, not only AngularJS, you can integrate with whom? Vue.js as well. Like this, many giant technologies, your Spring can integrate very easily. There is also a biggest advantage. There is the advantage number 6 as well. What is that, sir? Most importantly, your Spring is an open source. What it is? Open source. What do you mean by open source and closed source? Very simple. Open source means if you are interested in adding features into Spring, 100% you can do it. You have that power now. Because currently at this point of time, Spring is an open source. But if you go for core Java, that is your Java, that is your Java Standard Edition, it is what? Closed source it is. But this is what? Open source. The beauty of open source is, it is not only the engineers of VMware, it is the engineers of this world will be contributing every single day. Day by day, contribution, your Spring from here, growing, it went there and it is reaching the sky. It is because of this feature known as what? Open source. Not only this, your Spring will definitely help me to do something. What is that, sir? Testing. In the testing, it becomes very easy for test engineers to test any web application which is having Spring in it, because it is not heavy weighted. What it is light weighted. That is why your testers will also love the Spring, because it becomes very easy for them to test a software. Like this, there are many advantages of the Spring. How the class goes on, I will tell you, but these are the very important advantages of Spring. And in interviews, they will ask you how or why Spring we have to use, why not JEE? You should tell all of these points there. Understanding? Great. So with this advantages, let us go and try to build one application now using Spring. Okay, sir, how is that? But before I build, please watch this. This is very important. I told you how we have something. What is that? So many of you thought that there is one shelter, that is Java. Under this shelter, there is core Java, there is advanced Java, and there is frameworks as well, which you are 100% wrong. You are wrong. Okay, sir, then what it is? What it is, if you ask me, JSE is a different altogether. JEE is a different one altogether. And frameworks is different altogether. But the beauty of them is, without JSE, you cannot use JEE. Before knowing the disadvantage of JEE, you cannot go for frameworks. All of them are connected, but all of them will not come under Java. That point you should be knowing. But all of them using it, when I create an application, we call it as a Java web application. We call it that way. But for all of them, the shelter is not Java there. Sensing what I'm trying to tell? Great. So now, Java Standard Edition. Tell me, what is Java Standard Edition? It is your code, Java. You just imagine that. If I am not teaching you, okay, if I started with JEE without teaching your code Java, will you be able to understand him? Yes or no? Impossible. The name itself tells Standard Edition. This you have to compulsory learn. That is why people gave one name as core Java. Core part should be stronger. Then only entire structure of yours will be stronger. In the same way, if core Java is stronger, everything will be stronger. In the same way, in Spring also, there is something. And what is that, sir? In Spring, we have something known as Spring Core. And this Spring Core, name itself tells that this is the core of the Spring. And if you know this, then only you will understand the other stuff. What is that, sir? You will understand their Spring MVC. You will understand their Spring Security. You will understand their Spring AOP. You will understand their Spring what, sir? ORM. You will understand their Spring JDBC. You will understand their Spring AI, like the Spring Cloud, Spring Data Flow. Lot of things you will understand. But first one is what? Spring Core. That is why we are starting our journey on Spring. What is that? Spring Core, which is the core part of your Springs. Great. What is the Spring Core, sir? If you ask me, let me tell you what's this. Let me compare with core Java now. This is core Java. This is core Spring. Or simply we tell it as Spring Core. In core Java, what do you think? Who is the heart? Who is the heart, soul, blood, sweat, everything of core Java? Who is that? Oops. I'm speaking about a software. In core Java, there is one software. And that software is the heart, everything of core Java. Who is he? Who is he? Who is he? Bit louder, please. JVM. Very good. JVM is the heart, the soul, the brain. You can tell anything. He is everything. And he is the person who is responsible for execution of all of your core Java program. In the same way, in the core Spring also, we have a heart for him. There is a soul for him. There is a blood, everything of him. Who is that, sir? Is it JVM, sir? No. JVM belongs to other family. But here is a new family. Sir, who is that, sir? If you ask me, he is known as Spring Container. Who is he? Spring Container. He is also known as IOC Container. Who is he? IOC Container. So what is IOC? Everything you'll get to know, but these are the two names. So Spring Container only, another name, IOC Container. Understanding? Great. So now you got to know who is the heart. Who is the heart? Spring Container. Beautiful. Now you watch this. So now I will get my Spring Container now. How is that, sir? If you ask me, that is what I'm showing you. This is my Spring Container. What is Spring Container? Usually it's a software who will maintain your entire Spring project. He is a software. What is JVM? What do you think? It's a software. Java virtual machine. He's a virtual guy. He's not real. Don't think that in a computer there is one guy sitting. JVM is his name. He's a software. Understanding? In the same way, Spring Container is also a software who will maintain your entire Spring framework. Okay, sir. What is his work, sir, if you ask me? Number one, he will maintain all the objects. What he will do? He will maintain all the objects. See, in core Java also, you had a lot of objects there. Objects you have created. Yes or no? Who created all of these objects? JVM only created. Meaning what? Your JVM only maintained all of these objects. That is the meaning. In the same way, in my Spring, there is a Spring Container and his work is to maintain all the objects. It is not only maintaining. Now think and tell me, in core Java, who will create the objects in core Java? Who will create? It is JVM who will create. Very good. In Spring, who will create? If you ask me, it is none other than this guy. Who is that, sir? Spring Container. He creates the objects in your Spring projects. Regarding the objects, everything he will be taking care exactly like your JVM. He will take care of all of the objects. Sensing this much? Very good. In the same way, if I proceed further, next what, sir? Third very important point of Spring Container. What is that, sir, if you ask me? What's this? So we have seen JVM also. We have JVM. And what is his work, sir? Number one, create an object. And this JVM will do it in my core Java. In the same way, he will maintain all the objects. Good. And that is the work of JVM in my core Java. In the same way, I want to trigger this JVM. How you will trigger this JVM? See, you should tell him, right? You should call him, hey JVM, where are you? Please come. You start working. You should trigger him. Yes or no? How you will trigger your JVM? You tell me how you should trigger Spring Container, I will tell you. How? Very good. One is new keyword. Awesome. You will tell there new. Good. Only one way? Only one way? There's one more way as well. How? What is the other way? I have to take you a long way back. Your second demo class. Not second. Main method, fifth demo class. Yes or no? Main method you have learned, right? Which day? Yesterday itself what you taught, we don't remember. And you are speaking about a story of 6 months before, 7 months before. You only tell, sir. So, fourth or fifth day you will learn the main method. Yes or no? Great. In the main method, how you will execute? What is the flow of your program execution? There was no Eclipse, by the way. Back then, you have started using Notepad. And you have used command prompt to execute your program. Tell me how you have compiled your program. Java C. How you have executed your program? Java. Tell me, when you tell Java C, who is getting triggered? Compiler. When you tell Java, who is getting triggered? It's JVM. Means when you tell Java, name of the file, what is getting triggered is JVM. Yes or no? That is what I'm telling there. What's this? New you will tell, and after that you will trigger JVM by also telling like this. So what should I tell, sir? By telling there Java, you are triggering your JVM. And how is that? Don't ask me, because almost an end of the course. And you are asking me how? Please explain. Awesome. What's this? That is the story of JVM. Let me come to Spring Container. In the Spring Container as well, you can trigger him. When you trigger him, then only he will start working. If you ask me, how should I trigger him? Very simple. You can trigger him using two ways. What is that, sir, if you ask me? It is using bean factory method. Which one? Bean factory. There is one more way as well. What is that, sir, if you ask me? That is your application context. These are the two ways to trigger your Spring Container. But whatever the bean factory is there, this is the outdated one. You should not use, and no one will use it. And whatever the application context is there, and this is what? The current one. And the people will use this application context to trigger the Spring Container. In interviews, they will ask you, see, they also know that you are freshers. And some basic questions they will ask on Spring Framework. Why the name Spring? Why Spring Framework came? What are the advantages of Spring compared to your JEE? And how big is your Spring now? What is Spring Container? What are its work? How you will trigger Spring Container? All of these questions will be asked. And if you're listening to my words properly, all of these answers seamlessly you can tell. Yes or no? Great. So now you got to know the heart of your Spring, that is Spring Container, JVM. Maybe for you, at this point of time, I don't know you forgot your code Java or not. Code Java is there in your brain? Okay. Means JVM also you should respect, at the same time Spring Container also should be respecting. Means now you have two hearts in your hand. One is JVM and one more is Spring Container. So this heart, please keep it aside. Let us understand this heart now. What is that? Spring Container. Awesome. So let us understand the Spring Container by building our first Spring project. Are you guys ready? Awesome. What's this? So most importantly, I need Spring container, because without him, nothing will work in Spring. I will get Spring container, and that is what I am showing you. Very good. Okay, sir. How you will create a project now? Very simple. Let me write one code Java program, and the same code Java program I want to convert into a Spring program. You can relate and easily you can understand. Let me tell you, Spring framework very difficult. No, one of the easiest of frameworks. If you have that dedication to come and sit in the class, all of this seamlessly you will understand. The thing is, come and sit to the class. That is the expectation. How I can write code Java program? Very simple. What I will do is, I'll create one class. The name of the class is employee, like this. And inside this class employee, I will give there some details. What is that? First I will give ID, and after that I will give name, after that I will give email, after that I will give a salary as well. This is an employee class. And after that I have to give private members for them, so I will just give private members like this. I hope all of you know, if I tell minus like that, it's a private members. You know this, yes or no? Yes or no? See, when you want to tell public, plus you should tell. When you want to tell private, what you should tell? Minus. If you're not understanding this language, I'll just eliminate it. Okay. Let me give this only. What is that? P. Good. Now you can understand. Private members. So now private members means I have to give them the values for that. What I will do, I will create one constructor like this. And how you will create a constructor, sir, if you ask me, let me show you. I will create one such constructor who is zero parameterized like this. I will create one more constructor, and what is that, sir, if you ask me? He is not zero parameterized. Instead, he is what? He is parameterized constructor. Not only that, I want to give setters for each of these variables. Not only that, I want to give getters for each of these variables. I want to do that now. Tell me, what kind of a class is this? Pojo class. Very good. Pojo class is there. There is one more guy. His name is Bean class. Do you know what is the difference between Pojo class and Bean class? What is the difference? Pojo class, Bean class. What is the difference? There is only one difference, minute. What is that? Pojo class means private members, zero parameterized constructor, parameterized constructor, setters, getters. Pojo class. Bean means one difference is there. What is that, sir, if you ask me? This employee class will implement one interface. And what is that interface, sir? The name of the interface is serializable. What is the name of the interface? Serializable. If a class is implementing serializable, we call it as a Bean class. If a class is not implementing serializable, but is having all of these members, he is known as what? The Pojo class. That's the difference. Minute difference. And this will be asked in an interview as well. Understanding? Great. So what your Spring will do is it will work a lot on the Bean class. Bean class means it's like Pojo class only, but it should implement serializable. Tell me, serializable, you have heard somewhere? Where you have heard? Where? Where? Multi-threading, huh? Very good. Multi-threading you have heard. In multi-threading, which interface you have heard? Which interface? Runnable interface. And runnable interface, we call it as functional interface in Java. What is serializable interface? I have told this in one of your class itself. You remember? Or is serializable? It's a marker or tagged interface, which is an empty interface. Empty interface means you don't have any abstract methods inside serializable. Means you don't have any abstract methods here. Means you'll not get any error here, because you're not getting any abstract methods. Sir, it's almost coming here, sir, but it's going like this, sir. Correct. What I'm telling here, what you have learned previously. Anyhow, Pojo and Bean class, you got to know the difference. But now I will use Pojo class itself. If you want to use Bean class also, no problem, you can use it. Working remains the same. But anyhow, what's this? Now this is a class, what we have. Now I want to use this class now. How you will use? For that, you have to write your main method. How I should write main method, sir? Class launch, public static void main string array of args. Inside this, you know already, he is a class. Class is imaginary. What is real? Object. I have to create an object here. For that, who is he? Core Java. Who is the heart? JVM. You should invoke JVM, because he is the person who will maintain all the objects, create all the objects. Now I should invoke him. If you ask me, how should I invoke? Very simple. You should tell it as new. And you should tell him that, hey JVM, there is one person known as what? Employee. You please go there, give one reference and create an object of him like this. This is the object you have created, and you want to literally give the values for him. 100% you can do it here like this. You can do it. And after that, what you should do, sir? What you should do is you have to print. What I should print? E, like this. If you print E, all the details of my employee should get printed. But simply if you print E, it is not getting printed. Why? Because toString is inherited method there. You have to override it. So if you come here to the employee and if you tell their toString method, which is an overridden method, what you will get is my program, which is a core Java program. And why I'm telling core Java program? Because you are getting the heart of core Java. Who is he? JVM. When JVM comes into picture, you should think that he is a core Java program. Sensing this much. And let us see how can I do this using my Eclipse. And if you understand this, there's nothing in my Spring project. Please watch this. Let me go to my Eclipse, and this is how it looks like. So what I will do, maybe I'll go to File, I'll go to New, Normal Java Project. I'll go to the project name and I will tell it as Core Java is the name of the project. I'll just tell next there, and after that I will tell finish. You have Core Java, and inside this I want to create one package. This is the package, and what is the name of the package? It is asking me. I will just tell com.tab. That is the name of the package. I will tell finish. So I will just right click on this. I'll just tell new, and I want a class now. And what is the name of the class, sir? See what I will do. Instead of me creating this class in one package, let me come here and delete this package now. I don't want it. Then what you want? Let me repeat this. I'll right click. I will just tell new. I will tell their package. I want the package first. This is the package. And I want to give the name of the package. I want to give it in this way. com.tab. I'll give it as what? Pojo. Why is that? You'll get to know. This is the package. In this package, I'll right click. I will tell new. New what, sir? Class. I have to give the name of the class. Which class, sir? Employee, like this. And I will tell finish. So instead of me creating all the files only in one package, I just want to create them separately. Understanding? This is a Pojo package. I'm creating a class employee. So as you already know, that I have to give some instance variable there. To start with int ID. After that, name also I should give string name. After that, what should I give? Email. So I'll just give it as string what, sir? Email, like this. Awesome. Next what, sir? After that, I want salary as well. So this is the salary I want to give. All of them should be private. So let me come here and I will give it as what? Private. So let me take this private, copy this, come here, paste it, come here, paste it, come here, and definitely you have to paste it, and that is what I did. You have private members, let me come here, and you should do something there. What should I do, sir? I need one constructor whose name is employee, let me get it. This is zero parameterized constructor. Let me come here, hit enter. I need parameterized constructor, you know how to do it. Right click, there's one option known as source. There's one more option known as generate constructor using fields. It is selected, tell generate there, you have a constructor also ready. Next what, sir? After this, I need setters and getters, I need them. And how will do it, sir? I'll right click, there's an option source again, generate getters and setters, click on it, select all, tell generate. You have setters and getters. So again, I don't want to tell you why you have to override toString method. So toString method, I will override it for you. So I'll just tell toString, hit control space, you have toString method. And I want to override, and how you will do it, sir, if you ask me, let me remove this. And I will tell there return. What do you want to return? ID with him, what I need. Space, awesome, with him, what I need. Name, awesome. So with him I need space. So space, what I need. Email, very good. So plus I need space there, what I need. Salary, so salary I am giving, that's it. So this is my toString, everyone is ready. Okay, plus is missing. Awesome. So this is my employee class. Tell me, is he a Pojo class or is he a Bean class? Pojo class. I want him to be a Bean class. What he will do? Very good. You should be implementing. Implementing what? Serializable. That is what I'm telling. This is your Bean class. And you can notice it is not forcing you to implement because serializable is one interface. And what is that, sir, if you ask me? Just a minute. Okay. Serializable interface, who is there in the IO package, click on it, you have the serializable interface, which is an empty interface there. Good, so he is a Bean class, but I don't want him to be Bean, let him be Pojo itself. Awesome, 99.9% the working is same. Some difference is there, you'll understand, but anyhow, let me go here and your employee is ready. Let me go to Project Explorer, you can see already you have one package known as Pojo. I want to right click again, I will tell new and I will create one package for you. And what is the package you will tell, sir? I will tell com.tap.main like this. Why, sir? Because in this only I am creating my main method, that is why. So if you want to create in one package itself, you can do it, but let me maintain some discipline here. Good. So I'll just tell finish. You can notice there is one more package. So now let me right click. I will tell there new. I want class. I got it. I have to give one name there, which is launch. I need my main method. I will select it and I'll tell finish. This is my main method. I need an employee object. Let me do it. I will tell it as new employee. New employee object I'm creating. And for him, I want to give a reference there. What is the reference? E, and you should be telling what type it is, that is employee. M is always capital comes. Okay, anyhow. So employee object you created. Now I want to print that E, system.out.println of E. If in case you save this and you execute it, you can notice this is the output. And why is that, sir? If you ask me, you should tell me. Why is that? Default values you are getting, but you need the value, you can get it. How is that, sir? If you ask me, you should call the parameterized constructor like this. Okay, so parameterized constructor I'm calling, and let me give ID there. What is the ID? 1. So I should give the name there. What name? Tim. Let me proceed further and let me give email ID tim at what? gmail.com. And you know the story because it's been a long time we are doing the same thing again and again. I have to give the salary as well. So Tim Cook salary, if I have to tell there, I think I should increase the size of my screen. That is the salary of Mr. Tim Cook, who is the current CEO of your Apple company. If I have to give one idea of what is the salary of the people who are working in Apple, as a fresher, if you get placed in Apple, your salary is 2.5 crores. 2.5 CR. You just imagine CEO of Apple company. Good. So the salary 20,000 like this. It's not Tim Cook, it's a different Tim. Okay, so let me save this and execute it. When you do that, you have the beautiful output. Understanding? Now tell me, my students, who is maintaining, who is creating all of these objects? It is your JVM, because this is my core Java program. And whatever I have coded is a core Java program. Why is that? You are telling they're new. That is why. Okay, sir. Now what you will do? Whatever I have created just now, which is a core Java program, I want to convert him to a Spring project, a Spring program. Now, that is all about your Spring core. Okay, sir. How you will convert him to a Spring project now? Very simple. Watch this. Let me go here, create one more project, file. I'll go to new. Tell me which project you will create here. Maven, Java, or you will go here and tell JEE perspective. All of this you will tell? No. Simple Java project only I will create, and I want to show it to you. What is the name of this, sir? I want to give the name as Spring 1, because it's a Spring first program we are writing. Awesome. After that, let me tell their next like this, and after that I will tell it as finish. And when you do that, you have a Spring 1 like that. Awesome. What you will do inside this, if you ask me, watch it. What I will do, I will be creating something. What you will be creating? Please understand this diagram. I will create one bean class or Pojo class. Anything is fine. But I'll prefer Pojo class. Let me create it. And what is the name of this, sir? If you ask me, employee. And what you did for your code Java program, Pojo class, the same thing I want it. Very good. Now, I'm having the heart of my Spring. And who is the heart, sir? The heart is Spring container. You can also call him as IOC container. That is his name. And now Spring container should manage the objects. He should create the object of him. Everything he should only do it. Great. Came so early, man. Huh? Oh, came from interview, is it? Okay. Good. So Spring container we have. Awesome. Okay, sir. Next what? What's this? This Spring container, what he should do? He should create object. He should maintain object. Everything he should do. Now I should tell to my Spring container that create an object, maintain the object. All of this I should tell. That information where I should give. We have seen this kind of a thing in Hibernate as well. We will tell to the Hibernate, connect with this database. When I execute, show me the queries, format the queries, create the table automatically. All of this where you are given? In the configuration file. Yes or no? Means whenever you are giving information, especially in the framework, all that information, settings, you will do it inside configuration file. The same thing in your Spring also you should do it. And how can I do it, sir? If you ask me, that is what I'm showing you. You should do it here. And what is this file, sir? So this file, I call it as configuration file, like this. Configuration file. And this configuration file can be created in 3 ways. What is that? Using XML. Number 2, using Java, and using annotations. Any one of this you can use it to create this configuration file. But let us start our journey with the help of the first one. Who is he? XML file. But this is very important interview question. They will ask you how many ways are there. So in interviews they will ask you how many ways are there to configure your Spring project. There are 3 ways: XML, Java and annotations. This is the answer you should give. So now let us start our journey with the first one. And what is that, sir, if you ask me? That is with the help of your XML. Means now whatever the file is there, what I told configuration file, this file should be an XML file now. But for this file you should give a name. The question is what name you will give. Tell me, in Hibernate, what name you have given for the configuration file? What you have given? Very good. So what you have given is Hibernate. After that, what is that? .cfg. After that, .xml. That is what you have given. In the same way, you have to maintain some standards inside your Spring as well. Whenever you are giving the configuration file name, you have to maintain one name. And what is that name, sir? If you ask me, the name of this file, I want you to remember this. You should always give it as application context.xml. This is the name of this file. If you want, you can change it, but lot of changes you should do in your Spring. But this is the name. If you are maintaining, it becomes easy for me in our application. This name only you should give. Got this? Great. Now you have this. Now you have Spring container. And now what I will do, I will code this XML file in such a way that I will give information to the Spring container what he should do. Okay, sir, what he should do? To start with, he will do a lot of things. But to start with, I will tell him that, hey, Spring container, there is one class known as employee. You please go there, create an object. That is what I want to inform. That's it. Oh, really, sir? How you will inform, sir, if you ask me? Watch it. How you will inform, I will tell you, maybe using my program. But what you will be doing is, using this application context, you are informing to the Spring container that there is one class known as what? Employee. You please go there. What Spring container will do is, it will take all the information from this file. And from here, he will go to an employee like this. And looking at that, he will create one beautiful object here inside the Spring container. This is how it will work. Understanding? Great. So this is the diagram how it will look. Now the same diagram I have to put it in my project also now. Let me repeat this once again. Spring container, I should inform him. What should I inform? Hey, Spring container, you go to one class. Which class? Employee. Looking at him, you create one object and maintain that object, I should tell him. And all of that information, you should give it inside this XML file and inform it to him. Understanding? Great. So with this information, let me proceed further and start building my project now. And how is that, sir, if you ask me? Okay, let me finish it. Okay, let me get my Eclipse for you. This is how my Eclipse looks like. What I will do, I'll go to my file. I'll go to new and I will create, already I've created, is it? Project? Okay. I've created, what is the name? Spring 1. So in the Spring 1, I want to create something. What you should create? Spring container is already present. What you should create? These two people. Who are those? Employee and this fellow. We have to create it now. The question is how you will create it. What's this? This is Spring. I will right click. I will tell new. There is one person. Who is he? Package. I want to give the name of this. What is the name? com.tab. What I am giving? Employee. Who is he? Pojo class. So I will create one folder or one package with the name Pojo like this and I will tell finish. Inside this package, I'll right click. I will tell new and I want to create one class. Which class is this, sir? If you ask me, I will create there. Which class? Employee class. And after that, I will tell finish. Employee is ready. Next what, sir? Next what means I have to give some variables. Already I did it in the recently created code Java program. So I'll just go there. I will go here and all of this I will copy. Till where, sir? Till your toString method. I will just copy. I'll come to this employee and I will paste it like this. And if you look here, how this employee looks like, this employee is having first member. Who is he? ID, name, email, salary, constructor, parameterized, getters, setters, and toString. Any doubt? No doubt. He's a Pojo class. He is ready. Okay, sir. Next what? It's quite simple. Now let me proceed further. Whom you want to create, sir? We have to create this application context. The question is how you will create him. I will not create him simply in our project, but instead I want to create him in a different way. How is that? This fellow is there. Let me keep him aside. Awesome. Okay. What's this? So what I will do, I'll go to the source. You can see source is there. I'll right click. I will tell new. And I will go to other there like this. And here I will type it as XML like this. And you can see there is one file known as what? XML file. So I'll just click on this and I will tell next and I will tell it as finish. And you can see there you have the new file.xml. But if you look there, you haven't given any name for it. And where you have created, sir, if you ask me, directly you have dumped it here in your project. Correct? This should not happen. Then what I should do, sir, if you ask me, I will create one more package. First, let me delete it. Okay. Now you watch this. Source, right click, new. Let me create one package for you. Where is the package? This is the package. And what is the name of the package, sir? If you ask me, I will tell com.tap. What, sir? Config. Means in this package, I'm having my configuration file. But this is just the name. What name you want, you can give. Config. Okay. So I will just tell finish there. And when I tell finish like this, you can see 100% there is two packages. One is Pojo and one is config. Inside Pojo, you have employee class. Inside this config, you have to put configuration file. How can I do it? Let me show you. This is configuration file. Let me do it. How will do it? Right click. You can tell there new. Simply you can tell their file and you can select here. Is this visible? No. Okay. It's better to go by using this. New what, sir? Other like this. And here I will tell I need XML file. I'll just tell XML file, click, and I will tell there next. And after that it is asking me what name you want to give. You can notice. Understanding? I have to give a name there. And what is the name, sir? If you ask me, the name it should be matching. What is that? Application context.xml. This should be the name. Please stamp it at the back of your head. Afterwards, I will tell it as finish. And when I tell finish, you can notice there is an configuration file which is ready. Got this? Great. So now it is telling something that is XML version 1.0 something. It is telling I want it super fresh. Meaning what? I don't want anything. I'll just select it and I will eliminate it. Good. I don't want this. Okay, sir, then what you will do? I should code it now. What I should code? You should not code. You should take the help of the internet. That you take it, dump it. That's it. Okay, sir, how should I get this now? What's this? This is how you did it for Hibernate as well. Correct? The same thing you should do. How should I do? You should type it as application context.xml schema for Spring, or simply tell their Spring like this. Application context.xml schema Spring. If you hit enter there, you can see there is the first fellow. And this fellow is from the spring.io website. So means the creator of the Spring has given this schema. So let me click on this. When I click on this, what I will get, we will see. If I click on this, you can notice this is what you are getting. So you should come down. When you come down, there is one schema. And what is that schema, sir? This is DTD style. So DTD, whenever you listen to this word, you should not touch this. Let me go down. When you go down there, the equivalent file in the XML schema is not DTD, it's only XML. This code you should copy and put it. Let me see how can I do. Watch it. Let me come here and whatever is there here, this entire thing, I will copy it. I will go to my program and here I will paste it like this. When you do it, this is how it looks like. Understanding this much? Very good. Okay, sir, next what? If you look here, there is one comment. See how we have commenting in different files. We have a comment in XML file also. This is how you should comment. So here you can notice bean definitions here. I told you what do you mean by bean? It is like Pojo class only. Means it is telling that, okay, please tell me whose object you are telling to create to Spring container. Please define that. He's trying to tell you. Sensing this much. Now I should define it, what your Spring container should create. Okay, sir, how you will do it? Very simple. You can see here there are some tags are there. This is beans tag. This is opening. This is closure. See, beans means don't think beans, not beans. When it comes to Spring language, beans means objects. That's the meaning. Anyhow, so beans tag is there. Let me go here and I want to create one tag. And what is the tag, sir? If you ask me, that tag is bean tag. What tag? Bean. Beans is different, bean is different. So now inside this bean, you should give something. What I should give? You should go and give one field name there or an attribute. What is that? You should tell to the Spring container, hey, Spring container, create an object. Tell me, whose object you should create? Employee, correct? That you should tell. You should tell one attribute name, class, within double quotes. You should tell to the Spring container, hey, look, Spring container, there is one boy, girl, or one person. His name is what? Employee. Please go there and create an object. But you should give their fully qualified name. What you should give? Fully qualified name, and I hope you know what do you mean by fully qualified name. What do you mean by that? Properly you should give which package, where it is present in everywhere. Properly you should give. Okay, sir, how we will do it? Let me show you. What's this? Where is this? You know, where is this guy? Okay, you can see employee is present in somewhere. Where is present in? com.tap.pojo. This is where employee is present in. Fully qualified name you should tell. How you will tell, sir, if you ask me? I will tell com. I will tell com. Inside com there is tap. Inside tap what is there? Pojo. And inside Pojo which class is there? Employee class is there. Employee you should tell. This is not the end. There is one more attribute you should give there. What is that? I will tell you. What's this? See, whenever you tell to your Spring container, a Spring container create an object, is so intelligent that he will go here, looking at this class, he will create an object. But this object, your Spring container will give an ID to it. It will give an identical thing there. And you can tell to the Spring container what ID you should give it to this object. With the help of that ID only you should be able to use this object. That ID you should give now. The question is what ID you want to give. Let me show you. I want to give the ID for him as EMP like this. And he's employee 1, so I'll just tell it as employee 1. That is his ID like this. Sensing this much. Now the question is, how can I give this one or inform to the Spring container that create the object of him? This should be the ID. Very simple. What you should do is, here there is one more attribute you should give. What is that? You should give their ID. You can see ID. You should hit enter and you should give what ID? What is the ID? EMPI1, and this ID you should remember. Sensing this much. If you tell like this, that is more than sufficient for Spring container to create an employee object. Sensing this much. Very good. So now we have this. What is that? Employee is ready. What is ready? This fellow is ready. So now I should trigger the Spring container. Now I should trigger it. Tell me, there are two ways are there to trigger. What is that? Be in factory. One more is application context. What is outdated? Be in factory. Which one you should use? Application context. Means you are triggering the Spring container. Hey, start working. Go to there. Get all the information. Go to that class. Create an object. I should trigger him. Because JVM, how you will trigger? By telling new. Because JVM will be sleeping. You should trigger. Then only you will do all of the work. In the same way, you should trigger him. Where I should trigger. That is what I am telling. What's this? To trigger this, I will create my main method. And how is that, sir? If you ask me, let me show you. You can see here, we have a source. Let me right click. I will tell new, and I will create one more package. And the name of the package, I will tell it as com.tap.main, like this. And inside this, I will create one class. I will just tell right click, I will tell new, and I will create class. The name of the class is launch. This is where I'm executing or triggering my point. This is my main method, and I will finish it. This is my main method. Now if you look at my project structure, you have an employee. In core Java also employee. You have a launch. In core Java also launch. But there is one extra fellow. Who is he? XML file. He is the only extra fellow. He is like information giver to your Spring. Understanding? Great. So now we have the main method, and now I should trigger Spring container. See, everything is ready. See, you please go there and start working. Application context you should tell, and let me see how can I do it. Application context, like this. If I tell it, you can notice there, it is telling open implementation, click on it. This is what you are getting. But if you look there above, it is telling something. What is telling? Source not found. Means it's telling what you are telling. Application context, I am not understanding. Why? Because application context is not there in your JRE system library. It is not there. What JRE system library is having? Spring, not Spring, string buffer, string builder, serializable, runnable, thread, all of this it is having. But application context is not having. Okay, sir, application context I should get. Then what should I do? Very simple. You should be getting him. Simple. Okay, sir, where I can get? Where you can get is, you can get him in Spring Framework. What is Spring Framework? Ready-made code. What is ready-made code? You have classes, you have methods, you have interfaces. That is what I told in Hibernate. Understanding? Okay, sir, what should I do now? Tell me in Hibernate what you did. In Hibernate, what you did. See, the number of days what we are taking to understand, you know. I'm telling you, I can finish Hibernate. You just give me 3 hours in a day, 3 to 4 hours. Whatever I have taught, I can complete it in one shot. You guys are freshers. Damn slow I'm going. Everything I'm stressing. So that end of the day, you should understand, it should directly go to your head. And if you're not practicing, whatever I have done, it's gone. What is the use? Please practice. So what you did is, you went to one website. Which website you went? MERN repository. There what you told? Hibernate core. Yes or no? When you told, you got something, you added the dependency and given there. Why you added dependency? Because that was a MERN project. That is why dependency. If MERN project is there, that is dependency. But this is Java project. We have to do something else. Sensing what I'm trying to tell. But I have to get something. Some jar files you have to download. In Hibernate, or to start with, how you have downloaded MySQL connector. How you have MySQL connector J, that is Java. Like this you have py also. I hope you know this. Means MySQL you can connect with your Python as well. Okay, since it is Java, MySQL connector. This, inside this, there is a driver class. So you needed this, that is why you downloaded it and kept in your project. In the same way, you have an Hibernate as well. You needed it, you went and took it. In the same way, I need a lot of people in the Spring, and we call them as what? Jar files. What files? Jar files. We need it now. The question is, what jar files? It is not as simple as your Hibernate and this. You should remember some names. What is that, sir? Watch it. Number one, you should be downloading Spring Core. This is first one. Number two, there is the second one. His name is Spring Beans, not Bean. There's one more guy. His name is Spring. The host muted everyone. Who's the host, by the way? I'm the one. Okay. So there's one more guy. So his name is Spring Context, like this. In the same way, you have one more guy. His name is Spring Expression Language. He's that person. Good. In the same way, you have one more guy. His name is Common Logging. All of these are what? Jar files. And you have to download each of them in Maven repository now. Understanding? Great. So let me download all of these jar files, because this is where I can get your application context and so many things. Understanding? Great. So let me go and find where are all of these. So for that, I have to go to my Chrome. Where is the Chrome, sir? This is the Chrome. I'll go to the next one here, and I will tell it as MVN and repository. And this guy is damn good. What I can tell about him. He has made developers work so easy, so easy. Previously, if you have to find it, you have to go and search in the internet. Sometimes it's so hard to find these files. So hard. So people used to put it in the Stack Overflow. Please help me. Where is this jar file? But nowadays, all of these jar files, you take any programming language, all of these jar files is there in one shelter. That is Maven repository. When you start working in industry, you will use him a lot of times. Anyhow, so let me come here and I will type there something. And what you will type, sir, I Spring Core, and I will search it. And when you do that, you can notice Spring Core, he is the first one. You're getting him, and you have to click on him like this. When you click on him, you should be coming down. If you come down, you can notice there the current version of your Spring is what, sir, if you ask me? Which is the current version of your Spring? It is 6. The current version of your Spring is what? 6 there. So let us use 6 itself, but with 6, very simple. Let us see among this who is less vulnerable. Who is less vulnerable, sir? I told you how to find it. How? So let us use 6 itself, and 6 comes from down. But if I go down there, there's certain vulnerability is there. So what I will do, if I go up there, there is one version. Which version? 6.1.4. So his usages is more, and there is no vulnerability there. Understanding? Great. So vulnerability means there's some problem with that. It's not like it will not work, it will work, but the performance will decrease. That is the meaning. Anyhow, so let me go to 6.1.4. Let me download this. And how to do it? On this. It's a link there. You should click on it. And when you do that, this is what you are getting. Now when you create Maven project there, you used to come down. You used to click on this. It will be selected. You will be copying and pasting it in pom.xml. And all the jar files, it will only be taking. Correct? But this is not Maven project. This is Java project. So in the Java project, how can I put this? Don't put this, because this is for Maven project. Then what should I do? Very simple. You should go above. Where I should go? If you go above there, you can see one option. Which option? Files, you can see. And in this files, you should find jar. You can find jar there. Jar. 1.8 MB is there. You should click on it and it will get downloaded. So 1.8 MB is there, sir. 1.8. Should I download it, sir? Because my memory is only this much. If you want to understand Spring, you have to download. So let me download it, and how you will do it, sir? Let me come here on the jar. Let me click on it. When you do that, you can notice the download of the Spring core has started. It is downloaded. Understanding? Great. Okay, sir. Next what? It is not only Spring core. I need something else as well. What is that, sir? I'll go back. I'll come here. I'll go back. And I will search again. What do you want to search, sir? What I need now? Spring. There is one guy. His name is what? Spring Beans. I'll just search like this. You can notice Spring Beans. See, there are two people actually. Spring Beans and Spring Bean. Not there. There's so many pages are there. You can go and search. But it should be what? Spring Bean. So I'll just click on it. So when you do that, you have to get one version. Which version? See, which version you have downloaded? This fellow. And this should be the one you should download. For Spring Core, this fellow. For this Spring Beans, this fellow. Will not work. 6.1.4 means for everyone, that is the one. You decide which one you want to use. That only you should use for everyone. Good. So now it is 6.1.4. I'll just click on this. When I click on this, it is telling me you want what? I want the file. That is why jar is there. Click on it. It started to download. It's downloaded. Some KBs is there. That's it. Let me go here. Here itself, I will search. And what is that, sir? If you ask me, it is Spring Context like this. I will hit enter or search. You can see the Spring Context. Click on this. Let me come down 6.1.4 and I will click on this. When you click on this, it is telling me what you want. I want jar file. I will click on this like this. It is clicked. It is downloaded. Let me go here. There's one more fellow. Who is he? 3 files you have downloaded. Which is next one? Who is next one? Beans Context. Who is he? Spring Expression Language. So I want him as well now. How will you do it, sir? So I'll just tell it as Spring. Spring what, sir? So Expression Language. Very good. So this is Spring Expression Language. You search it. When you do that, 100% this is what you will get. SPEL. So you should click on it. When you click on it, it is giving you a lot of versions. 6.1.4. Let me click on it. When I click on it like this, you can notice there it is telling me you want to download. Yes, some 295 KB it is downloaded. And you can notice at this point of time, all these files are downloaded. Spring Expression, Context, Beans and Core. And if you look at there, all of them have this version. Good. Let me proceed further. And I want to do something now. What do you want to do? Let me go here, search here itself. What is that, sir? If you ask me, you just tell there common logging like this, and I will tell it as search like this. Very good. So if you look there, there's something known as commons logging or common logging, you can tell. There are many common logging is there. Which one you should download? Apaches. So the first one is that one, so I'll just click on it. So when I click on it, you can notice this is what you are getting. But if you come to him, my friends, you will not get 6 point like that. But instead you will get 1.2 like that. 1 like that. Now the question is which one? Very simple. You should come here. Who is the highest one? You should download. If you look here, who is he? 4915. See, if you can go down, you can see the people who are using and number is more. But the recent one who is having more number, you should get it. Got this? Let me see, is this the case or not? So first, let me download this. This is 1.2. Let me click on this. When I click on this, it is telling me you want to download. Yes, it is downloaded. And now it is downloaded. So for that, I have to find it where it is downloaded. So for that, I have to go to my folder, and in this folder, downloads are there, and you can notice all of them are downloaded. And where it is downloaded, sir? It is downloaded here in the downloads. Now what I want to do is, if you want to use it from here, you can do it. But I will take him and put him in my desktop now. And how you will do it, sir, if you ask me, if you are doing in these steps, you will get the output properly. If you're not getting the output because there's some problem you have done during your execution of jars and everything. So please watch it. So what I will do, I will select all of them now. How I will select, sir? Like this. All of them I will select. In fact, I'll cut it and I'll go to my desktop. This is my desktop. I'll create one file here or one folder. New I will tell, folder I will tell, and I have to give the name of the folder. What is the name of the folder you will give, sir? I'll just tell it as Spring Jars, like this. I'll double click and here I will come and paste it. You can notice these are the 4 and you can notice what it is the executable jar files. They will execute, that is the meaning. Awesome. All of them are there. Where they are present? In desktop. Very good. So you have downloaded. Now the jar files, where they are present in now? They are present in your computer. But the same thing my Eclipse should know. The same thing my Spring One project should know. Correct? Now I want to ask you this. In JDBC, how you added MySQL connector to a project? Lib folder, there you added add external jar or add jar like that. Correct? Awesome. Now after some time in JEE, already lib folder was created. Correct? There you added. And after that, I told you that in Maven project, all of the jars, you don't add it. You just add the dependencies, everything it will take care. Correct? Means there are different ways of adding these jar files you have seen. There is one more way, you should be knowing it. So you guys are developers, future developers you are. So as a future developers, you should be knowing different ways of adding the jar files. You know some ways. I want to teach you one more way now. Understanding this much, and let us see how we can do it. How we will do it, sir? Watch it. Tell me all of these jar files, where they are present in your computer. Where in your computer? Desktop. I should take all these jar files and put it in my project now. And how is that, sir? If you ask me, please watch this properly. I'll right click on the project. There is a properties you can go. Java build path, you should go here. This is one way. You can simply right click and you can see build path, directly you will get it. Instead of going to the properties and Java build path, you can simply tell build path. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ninth option. Very good. So it is giving me configure build path. Let me click on this. When you click on this, already JR system library is there, which is a module path. He's always present there. He should always be present, not in the class path. But I will go to the class path like this. Inside the class path, I should add all the jar files now. And how we will do it, sir, if you ask me? Very simple. You should click on the class path, and I want to add one library of Spring jars. Because you don't have one Spring jar, a library you have. So I will tell add library. And now it is asking me what library you want. You want JRE system library, Maven, all of the server runtime, which one you want? I want my library. Tell me my library means what? User library. Very good. You should click on the user library like this and you should tell there next. And after that what, sir? When you tell next, this is what you will get. And in this there is one option. What is the option? User libraries. You should click on this. When you click on this, it is telling me something. But here there are no user libraries. If any user libraries you have created somewhere and kept, you would have got here. But at this point of time you don't have. But I want to create one. And how you will do it, sir? There is one option. What is the option? New. And it is telling me what name you want to give it for him. What name? All of you are in sync with me? Yes or no? It is telling me what name you want to give for him. Let me tell that. I want to give the name as this. I will tell it as Spring Jars itself. That's the name. What name you want, you can give. And after that, I will tell it as OK like this. Spring Jars came there. That's the name. And who is he? He is a library. Now inside this library, I should add all the jars which I've downloaded and kept. Question is how? Very simple. What you should do is, there is one option known as add external jars. It's not add jars. It is add external because it is there in my computer, not in my Eclipse. Understanding? I will tell add external jars and it is telling me where it is, please tell me. And I will tell him there is one person, and who is that? Desktop. Desktop you go. And there is one person known as what? Spring jars. And here I will select all of these jar files and I will tell open like this. When you open, you can notice all of these jar files will come and sit here. And 5 jar files you have built it, and all these jar files are present here, you can notice. Sensing this much? And after doing this, you should do something. What I should do? Apply and close, do it. After that, tell finish, and after that, when you do that, you can notice you have a class path, Spring Jars is added. And this is how you can add the jars. This is one more way. Which way is easy for you? You can use it, but you should be knowing all of these ways. Understanding? Great. So now, if I do this, 100% is telling me what next I should do, apply and close. When I do that, you can see the Spring jars are getting added here to my project. And if you see here, I'm getting a kind of a library. Awesome. And if you click on the Spring jars like this, you can notice there, you will find all these jar files, what I have downloaded. Good. You have now let me go to application context. How is that, sir? I will come here and I will tell application context like this, and 100% this time it will work. Really, sir? What's this? Whatever the application context I am telling there, it is an interface. Who is he? He is an interface. Means I should invoke this interface now. And how can I invoke, sir, if you ask me? Let me tell you. You can invoke this application context by creating one object. And this object creation, I will take the help of my JVM. I will tell new, I will tell their class, path, hit control space. Is this the launch? Okay. You can see here, there is one person, his name is what? Class path XML application context. He is the class. You create an object of him. What is the return type you are getting there? You will get their application context, who is an interface. And if you want to get application context, you should go for it. Sensing this much? Great. I know the time is 6:15, not 6:15, 6:18. And your mind is telling something, correct? Tell me, you want me to continue or stop here? Huh? You tell whatever you want, I will continue. Please watch this. I'll open this, close this, put a semicolon. It's telling me to import, let me import it, and I did it. Okay, sir, next what? Now for him, I have to create an object, let me do it. Object I have created. Beautiful, sir. Next what? He will give me one reference, and that reference I will collect it inside one variable context. And you should tell what type it is. What type it is, sir? Application context, like this. Awesome. Next what, sir? So 100% is telling me to import, let me import it, and that is what I did. I did it. Okay, sir. Next what? You can notice previously I could not make it work, but now I can make it work. And this application context, you can see you're getting it from the context there, and that is what we have downloaded. Sensing this much? Very good. Okay, sir, next what? Now you watch this. When you tell this application context, meaning what? A Spring container, you start working. When this fellow or this line, when you tell, you are telling your Spring container start working. That is the meaning. Why, sir? Because application context is there. That is why. Now I should tell him that Spring container that, oh, where are you? You please come and start working. Now Spring container will come at you and tell me, okay, where I should go now? Tell me where the Spring container should go. Where he should go? He should go to the employee, looking at this, create an object. But this information, where it is present in? Inside this configuration file. Means I should tell to my Spring container, there is one XML file, go here and whatever is there written here, go to that class and create an object. That I should inform. And where I should inform, sir, if you ask me, you should inform it in the constructor of this fellow. You should give it. You should tell, hey Spring container, you have invoked him, see, application context. You should go to configuration file. Where is that configuration file present in? That is what I am showing you. I will give the location of this configuration file. I'll just create one variable, config location, LOC, like this. I will tell here within double quotes something. What you will tell, sir? What I'm trying to tell there, my friends? I should tell my application context what you should do. For that, I should tell where is the configuration file. Tell me where is the configuration file here. Let me show you. The configuration file is present somewhere. Where it is present, sir, if you ask me, you can notice it is there in com.tap.config, and inside this there is that one. And you should tell that here. And how to tell it, sir, if you ask me, this is the way you should tell. How should I tell? You should tell /. Next, what you should tell, sir? What is the name of the package? Com. You should tell com. Go inside com. There you will find tab. Go inside tab. Inside this you will find config. Go inside that. And inside this there is an application context.xml. You please go there. I have to copy it. I'll copy it. I'll come here and I'll paste it. This is what I will tell there. Understanding this much? You should not tell there dot and all. Whenever you're giving, you should give a link kind of a thing there. And that is what I have told. Sensing this much? Great. I should tell to my Spring, hey, this is where the location you should go now. Means whatever is there here, I should take and put it in the constructor of this. Meaning, application context, go there, like that. Spring container, go there, like that. And let me do it. How you will do it, sir? This config. I will just copy this. I'll come here and paste it in this fashion. You can see, no problem at all. Understanding? If you write these two statements, your Spring container will get triggered now. And how he will get triggered, sir? That is what I'm showing you. Spring container, you have told application context means, hey, you get activated. Now you told there is one file. Which file? Application context.xml. What he did is, he took all the information here, it took. And now, what is there in this information? Go to employee, create an object. Yes or no? Now the Spring container will go to this employee, create one object inside him. He will maintain this object by giving one ID to it. Sensing this much? So now this object is ready when you tell these two statements. Now I want to literally see, is this object is there or not? I want to see it now. And how you will see it, sir, if you ask me? Very simple. This is what I will do. I will tell him something. What you will tell? If you have to get this object, where is the object, sir? Let me show you. If you have to get this object which Spring container has created, you should use one method. Which method is that, sir? Get bean method you should use. I told you bean means object if you look at the language of Spring. I should tell get bean. You think that in the Spring container many objects are there, but you need one specific object. How can I get one specific object? How? By giving one ID there. When you give the ID, he will give you the object, and this object you can use it. Sensing this much? And let me show you how can I do it. How you will do it, sir? Watch it. I will tell it as context dot what, sir? You can see there is one person. His name is what? Get bean. And here within double quotes, I will tell, I want to get one person, and his ID is what? EMPI1, and that is what I will give, EMPI1. And let me tell you, whatever the ID you have given here, where I have given, sir, let me show you. I have given ID here somewhere. Let me show you by opening my configuration. Tell me what is the ID I have given? EMPI1. The same ID should be given here, or else no such kind of bean object is found. You'll get an exception. Sensing this much? Very good. So now tell me, when you tell get bean, what he will do? He will get you one object. And to this object, you should give what? Reference. And let me tell you, how can I do it? This fellow will give me an object. I will give one reference E, and you should tell it as employee like this. But when you do that, you're getting an error. Why error? Why error? You should import. So I'll just tell Control Shift O, you have imported. But again, more error. Why is that error? You take the cursor and hold on this. What getBean will return is an object. What it will return? Object. Now what you should do? Downcasting. Very good. So let me downcast it, and I will tell him that, hey, I don't want this object. I want employee object like this. Sensing this much? Very good. So now I want to ask this question. Tell me, have you created an object here by invoking JVM? Tell me, in core Java, have you created an object? New. New means what? JVM you have invoked. Now you tell me, anywhere have I told there new? I have told here new because I want my Spring container to start working. But have I told there new employee like that? No. Means employee object JVM is not created. Who created? Spring container has created. Sensing this much? But in core Java, what I have written there? New employee JVM is created. Here, the Spring container is creating it. Great. So now let us see if seriously this employee, I am able to get it. I am able to print the details of this employee as well. I'll print that E. Now let us see, will I get the output or not? If in case I save this and execute it, this is what the output I am getting. And if you see here, I am getting the details of something. What are you getting? 0, null, null, 0. What it is? What it is, if you ask me, it is an object. Which object is this? This is an employee object. And inside this, what you have? You have ID, you have name, you have email, and you have what? Salary as well. Have you given any details inside this? No. That is why you are getting default values there. Means you can think that you are able to get this object. You are able to sense it. Sensing this much. But now I want to give values inside this. What values, sir? If you look here inside employee, I'm having ID. Inside this, I'm having name. I'm having email. I'm having everything. I want to give the value for him now. Means I should tell to my Spring container that, hey, Spring container, it is not only creating an object. You have created an object, salute to you. You are giving me an object also, salute to you. But I want to insert a data as well. I want to insert a data. Sir, can I do it, sir? Yes. But that information, you should tell it to Spring container. Tell me where you'll give that information? In the configuration file or in XML file you should give. The question is, how can I give it? Watch it. Let me close this console. Let me go to application context XML. Now I will tell, hey Spring container, there is one class known as employee. You create an object and give an ID to it. But I will not stop. I will tell him, give the value for the properties as well. Properties means what? Instance variable. Instance variables means what? Fields. Fields means what? Attributes. All of these are the different names for instance variables. Correct? I will tell him now. How you will tell? What's this? This is employee. Opening of the bean, closure. In this, I should tell him to this object, give the data. How to tell it? Very simple. You should tell one tag there. Which tag? You should tell property tag. And in this property tag, there is an attribute known as what? Name. Tell me, I want to give for what value? For ID. So that should be the name. For ID, you give. What I should give? One value. That value, you should put it in one more attribute value. What value you want to give, you give it as what? 1 there, like that. Understanding? Great. In the same way, let me copy this and let me paste it here in this fashion. So no need to give anything here. You should give inside the property tag itself. Got this? So ID is completed. Who is next? Name. Very good. The name of him is what? Name. And what is the value you should give? Tim. So let me give Tim there. In the same way, let me come here and let me paste this. When I do that, it is telling me name. For what you want to give? Email. So let me give email there. Email like this. Value I should give. What is the value, sir? Tim at what? gmail.com. Beautiful. In the same way, let me come here, paste it, and I want to give something. For whom? Or for salary. Very good. So for salary, what do you want to give? 20,000 like this. I've given all the information to my XML. To my Spring container now. So now let us see how this will work. I'll save this. I'll go to the launch. I have invoked my Spring container and I've told my Spring container, hey look, there is a configuration file in this link. You please go there and see what information I have given. Looking at this, he will create something, the object, and I want that object, you call it or you get it. And after that, I want to print the details of him. And let us see what output I will get in this case now. If in case I save this and execute it, this is what the output I am getting. Sensing this much. So now if you notice, who is creating and maintaining all of these objects? Spring container or IOC container. Understanding? Great. So this is your first Spring project. Again, I am telling you, it's not like your core Java. Simply you create one class, main method, simply coding, execute. No. So many jar files, adding, using the jar files and executing, a lot of things are involved. Again, I'm telling you, you can master this with the practice itself. Please practice. We'll meet on Monday. So Monday happens to be a very important class. I will speak about something known as dependency injection of Spring, which is if any company is asking questions on Spring, fixed question. What is a dependency injection? It's not the injection, wherein you will pump it. This is a different injection. And what is that? If you want to know, attend my class on Monday. So till then, keep coding, keep smiling. Thank you.